It is not the most comfiest sitting on my floor, but needs must. I already filmed this review yesterday, Thursday, but I really wasn't happy with it because first of all, I wasn't wearing any makeup. Normally I've been so good lately at filming and putting makeup on. I've already had makeup on when I've decided to film, or I've made the most of wearing makeup, or I've maybe just quickly shoved something on while I'm filming and then just take it off basically straight away. But I don't really like putting makeup on all the time. So going out tonight with my family to a quiz, so I put some makeup on, so I thought I'll make the most of it and I will refilm this review because, like I said, one, I had no makeup on, so I felt like I looked so pale, I looked dead behind the eyes. Also as well, while I was filming it, and even after I was editing, all I could think about was how dead behind the eyes I looked. I just was kind of monotoned the whole time through it. I was like, nah, this review ain't it. And I really do want to kind of do a review in this book, and I feel like I didn't really touch upon much at all in the review, so I'm doing it again. So I read The Sun Is Not a Star, Sun Is Not a Star, Sun Is Not a Star last Sunday. I filmed myself doing it. I did a reading vlog. I actually finished it in the day, which I feel like is actually really fitting because the book all takes place in one day. I'm sorry if I'm touching my face a lot, my hair is sticking to my lip gloss. But I thought it was very fitting that I read it in a day when it all takes place in one day. So it's by Nicola Yoon. Yoon, am I pronouncing that right? Yoon, who is also the author of Everything Everything, which I have not read and I don't own, but I did see the movie and I did quite like the movie. So I will read the back to you and you can decide if this book might be for you. I also have these sweets, so if you see me eating, it's these Prosecco cocktail jellies my friend got me for Christmas. I'm starving. I should not have ate before I read the back. The story of a girl, a boy, and the universe. Natasha. I'm a girl who believes in science and facts, not fate, not destiny, or dreams that will never come true. I'm definitely not the kind of girl who meets a cute boy in a crowded New York City street and falls in love with him, not when my family is 12 hours away from being deported to Jamaica. Falling in love with him won't be my story. Daniel. I've always been the good son, the good student, living up to my parents' high expectations, never the poet or the dreamer, but when I see her, I forget about all that. Something about Natasha makes me think that fate has something much more extraordinary in store for both of us. The universe. Every moment in our lives has brought us to this single moment. A million futures lie before us. Which one will come true? Can we just talk about this cover, by the way? How beautiful. It's like string, but it's beautiful. That is so effective. Like from afar it looks like an explosion, but up close you can see it's like string. Very effective. I loved it. I loved it. I gave this book a 4 out of 5, which, I mean, maybe I could have given it a 5. I think the main reason I gave it a 4 was because although I did enjoy it to an extent, I'm really not a young adult fan anymore. I kind of grew out that genre a little. I don't mind young adult books when it's for a kind of like mystery. I really enjoyed reading One of Us is Lying, One of Us is Next, and Two Can Keep a Secret, all by Karen M. McManus. She recently brought out One of Us is Next and I read it back in January and I actually really enjoyed it. Although there's kind of romance thrown into it, I love mysteries. I love all mysteries, so I actually sometimes do enjoy mysteries in a young adult book more so than an adult book because I am still young myself. I'm 23. So I feel like I do sort of relate to the characters depending on their age, if they're kind of 18 or so, more so than like an adult who's got a family and kids and a mortgage. I can't really relate to that yet. I've recently found out that there's such a genre as NA, which is new adult, which I assume that's me. I think it was classes like 18 to 24, so that's me. So I guess that's more what I'm aiming for. But in terms of young adult books, this wasn't the worst, and considering it was a romance, I actually liked it. I liked the characters. Chapters were told from Natasha's perspective, from Daniel's perspective, and also we had little chapters about other characters, which I actually really enjoyed because it was quite nice just to have a little bit about this random person that you just saw on the street. This is what's happening in their lives. It was quite nice to just see kind of other characters and what they were going through, and it sort of just showed you how our actions affect other people. So I quite like that as well. The story begins with Natasha, who is at a lawyer's. I'm really not quite sure with this actually, but she was going to see somebody about getting her family's deportation either stopped or postponed. So she's going to see somebody. She misses her appointment, she ends up seeing somebody else, and then they eventually refer her to see this lawyer who decides to help her. That's Natasha's story for the day. She is trying to stop her family from being deported back to Jamaica. I think she moved from Jamaica when she was 8 years old. She's now about God, I don't even know how old she is, 16, 17, maybe 18? 16, 17, we'll say 17-ish. So she's now having to go back, and she hates the idea of having to go back to a country that she's not lived in for many years. She has her life in America. Was wanting to go to school there, university, college, whatever. She's devastated, as anyone would be when you've made a home for yourself in a country and then suddenly being told that you have to go back to your own country or where you were born. I mean, I can't imagine how that must feel to have settled in somewhere and made a life for yourself, to suddenly be told that you can't stay here anymore, you gotta go. I could go on a massive rant about how unfair it is, but we won't. Then we have Daniel, and Daniel is a Korean American, I think the term is. His parents are Korean and he was born in America. He refers to himself as like Korean American or I think it's Korean American. Now our boy Daniel is currently on his way to not an interview as such, but a sort of interview. He's going to see somebody that's going to interview him and then put in a good word for him for Yale. I've never been to college or university, so I don't know what that's like. I think it's gonna, so is it like a referral, I assume? I really don't know. It's so tasty. So Daniel is on the train to go to his appointment to speak to a guy about Yale, when the conductor of the train, or the driver, it's the conductor or driver? I forget. But when the driver of the train literally stops the train to give the passengers a speech about God and Jesus and how he's found religion and you all should too and how great it is, and I literally thought like, oh my god, is he going to miss his appointment? Is this what the book's about? Are they stuck on this train? But no, that's not what happened. The train then goes on to the next. They pull into the station, everybody gets off, what a relief. But the minute I read that, I was like, oh my god, Daniel's gonna get stuck on this train and he's not gonna get to go to his appointment. He can kiss goodbye to Yale, poor boy. But that's not what happened. These are really tasty. What did end up happening was Daniel basically decides that, wow, you know what? Everything does happen for a reason. And he starts to take notice of the world around him, you may say. And that is when he spots Natasha. Don't know why I did that. That is when he spots Natasha with her funky pink headphones, jamming out to her music. And she goes into a record shop and he follows her in there. You know, as you do. That's a classic Joe Goldberg move. Oh, Joe. He's still on my mind. They get into a conversation at the record shop and then they go their separate ways. But it just so happens that their separate ways is the same way. So they're at a crosswalk together. Is that what it's called? Crosswalk? I don't know. Crosswalk? Do we call it a crosswalk in the UK? Why is my mind literally gone blank? What do we call it? Crosswalk? Crossing? I think we call it crossing. My mind is literally gone blank. I don't even know what they're called. But I'm pretty sure it's called a crosswalk when you push the button and the car stop. Do you push a button in America? Is that how it works? That's how it works here. I literally don't know anything. But you push the little button and the little green man comes up or it tells you to walk. We have a little green man where I'm from. And then you can safely cross the road. Well, the light comes on to say that you can go, and Natasha's like the first off the pavement, and here comes this speeding white BMW heading straight for her, and Daniel, ever the hero, grabs her by her backpack and heaves her out of harm's way, and they fall into the pavement. Very sadly, Natasha's headphones break and her phone smashes, but she cares more about her headphones. So they basically get talking after this near-death experience and they go for a coffee, and Natasha is... how do I explain this? Natasha comes across as quite cold towards Daniel. Understandably, we know that she's got this looming threat of being deported, so can't blame her. Poor soul. Anyone would be affected by that. So she acts quite coldly towards Daniel, which begs the question of what did Daniel actually see in her in the first place, but oh well, each to their own. So while they're having like their little coffee and their chat, she is quite cold. He's trying to make her smile and laugh. It's not really working. And then Daniel comes up with this thing about, or he tells her about this article he read all about how to make someone fall in love with you in a day. Or, yeah, in a day. And it's like this questionnaire thing, and then for 4 minutes they have to look into each other's eyes without saying a word, which that sounds like the most awful thing ever. I could not imagine just standing just staring in someone's eyes for 4 minutes straight, not saying anything. I'd want to laugh, I'd want to look away, but so that's that. And he starts asking her some questions of the questionnaire. They do a little kind of get to know me vibe. And then Natasha has to go to where she's got to go. Or do they go for lunch first? No. She goes to her appointment. There's been an issue. The lawyer she's going to be seeing has been hit by a car. And I'm pretty sure he was hit by the same car that nearly hit Natasha. So small world. And Natasha thinks that Daniel is going to go on to his appointment with his Yale guy. But he actually waited for her. He rescheduled his appointment. And the woman, when he phoned up, the woman, ring, she said, oh, funny enough, I was just about to call you. I need to rearrange. So that's great. End of conversation. He waited for Natasha and they decided to go out for lunch together. And then they go and do some karaoke. And our boy Daniel sings, I very nearly said take me out. That's not what it is. Daniel said take on me. That's not. Third time lucky. He sings Take a Chance on Me by ABBA. Take a chance. It also said that he scored like a 99% in the karaoke, and she was saying about how he did like his own backing vocals as well. Is it humanly possible to sing that song, sing all the words, and sing the kind of the take a chance, take a chance, take a chance, I can't even say it. Is it humanly possible to sing literally every single word and syllable in that song by yourself? I'm gonna have to listen to it. So after their little kind of karaoke session, this is kind of around the time when our girl Natasha starts to feel little butterflies, and she starts to kind of fancy Daniel. So then she goes for her interview. He eventually gets his, blah 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 blah. The story is basically just about Natasha and Daniel's day together and how random things keep happening that puts them together. And Natasha is not a believer in fate, destiny, whatever, whereas Daniel is just convinced that the two of them are meant to be together. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. Not always, but I am a firm believer in my life, especially everything that has happened to me. There are times where you think to yourself, wow, everything does happen for a reason. There are times where maybe there's been a bad situation, but some light has come out of it. Something good happened from that situation. So there's that. However, Daniel's approach that they're meant to be together based on the idea, well, look what's happened today. We were going the same way and I saved your life and I saved her life. She nearly drowned. He showed off, splashing around. Summer fun, summer sun, something's begun. Oh, those summer nights. Oh, well. Yeah, so I do kind of feel like Daniel's idea that this is meant to be is a little unhealthy, just a little bit. But as well, Natasha's idea of, she kind of explains her theories and that are fine and valid. However, by about the kind of halfway point, maybe even 3/4 of the book, Natasha completely changes her perspective. She goes to believing in science and facts and saying, look, everything that happens is just a random occurrence or it's just meant to happen kind of thing, to then suddenly being like, oh, in this moment, I don't believe in fate and destiny, but you and I, this is magic. And I was like, there was a quote at one point where she said something like, we are magic, and I was like, okay, alright Natasha, alright. So there was that aspect that Natasha just completely changed her opinion. I don't know, the way it was kind of written, the way it was kind of worded, I maybe would have liked it if it was a bit smoother. I think I maybe would have preferred it if Natasha, rather than just suddenly accepting that, wow, you know what, maybe we are meant to be together. I think I would have preferred it if maybe it was more like she just kind of accepted that, you know what, she actually does kind of fancy Daniel a wee bit and that's the end of it. He's a nice guy. There were a few times she kind of said a few things that I was kind of like, wait, what? But anyway, that's basically the plot, is just their day together. She's she's got the threat of being deported tonight. Daniel is just going for a Yale interview, but it's not really what he wants to do. He wants to be a poet, or he likes to write. He likes to write poetry. I can't remember if it said that he actually wants to be a poet. I did give this book a 4 out of 5. I wanted to give it a 5. I did want to, but then a part of me felt like, like for me, I'm quite strict when it comes to reviewing books. I tend never to give books like a 1 or a 2 star review. It has to be pretty bad for me to give it a 2. I don't think I've ever scored a book a 1, because I always feel like I always like to give everything a chance, and I always find some good in it. Maybe the author's writing was excellent. I just maybe hate the characters and the plot. I find that a lot with Hidden Bodies, the U sequel. The writing style is amazing, or I like it anyway, the way the author writes. I just can't abide by that. Can't abide by Jo anymore. Just can't. I feel like the writing was good. I felt like the characters were great. I think what it is as well that brought me back is, at the end of the day, this is a love story, and it's insta love. My most hated romance pet peeve, or one of them anyway, is just, I don't really like insta love. I'm not a massive insta love fan, and at the end of the day, this book does just take place in a day, a single day, so it is still insta love. So that's maybe what kind of brought my review down a little bit, because I can't abide by insta love, especially with teenagers, and especially the way they were acting like these two characters were endgame. I hate that phrase, I hate it, but the way they were acting like they're gonna be endgame if she doesn't get deported. And I feel like, you are young, okay? Teen romances rarely last these days. That's like an older thing where like our grandparents got together when they were young and they stayed together. Youngins these days don't stay together. So I refuse to believe that this was fate and destiny. They're meant to be together, they're going to stay with each other forever and ever. So Daniel, I'm debunking your theory. However, for a young adult novel, I actually really enjoyed this, and the ending was everything I could have hoped it would possibly be. The ending was everything, because I felt like, rather than just playing up to this whole romantic aspect and everything happens for a reason and fate, well, the universe will work in our favour and everything's gonna be okay. The ending, or the run up to the ending, I will say, was exactly how I feel it would be in real life. So I can't scold it for that. Maybe I could say the right at the end was a little unbelievable, but I still liked it. I really liked it. I liked the way everything just kind of came together at the end, and it was like, and I actually did well up a little just by the ending, just by the kind of the characters and the character interactions and everything coming full circle, you may say. So I did actually really enjoy it for that. The ending was superb. I couldn't fault it. I still just gave this a 4 out of 5, as I say, because a book has to be pretty amazing for me to give it a 5. But I would highly recommend this. I know there's gonna be a movie. Okay, so I ended up having to shoot out while I was in the middle of filming, and I think I spoke about everything that I wanted to talk about in the book. I just wanted to say, or what I was talking about when I had to scoot, was that I heard, or I saw, that there is a movie based on the book, and I watched the trailer, and to be honest, I don't think I'm gonna watch the movie. It stars that one guy from Riverdale, and I'm not sure who the girl is actually, but I watched the trailer and I thought I don't feel like it's the sort of movie I would actually enjoy. I don't really enjoy teen movies these days, so I feel like I enjoyed it in the book, but the insta love cringiness, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy that on the screen. So I think I will give the movie a miss, but as for the book, I recommend it. So yeah, read it if you want to. I do recommend it. So I realised I forgot to say that we actually came second in the quiz. So thank you for watching this video, and I shall see you in my next one. Bye!